Hello, Year 9s. Welcome to Mr. Chen's classroom. How are you guys? So today in maths, we will look at a topic called the gradient formulas. Based on what you last videos, we talk about what is gradient. So which is the main focus of this video as well. However, I'm gonna go a bit more in depth and actually show you the formulas that is going to be universally used to find gradient. So let's begin. So keywords number one is obviously your gradient. So gradient is for those who forgot, gradient is the steepness of a line on the Cartesian plane. Okay, so it measure how steep it is the gradient. So the formula that you will learn, that you have learned from the last video is y step divided by x step. Okay, which is your vertical line divided by your horizontal line. And gradient is also your hypotenuse. It's also your hypotenuse if you're gonna look at in the Pythagoras theorem way. And the second we have vertical step, which is your y-axis, and horizontal step is your x-axis. Okay, y-axis and x-axis. Alright, let's look at the Cartesian plane below. So on the Cartesian plane below, the dark blue line here represent your gradient, okay, which is also your distance between 2 points, 2 coordinates, and we have A and we have B. Okay, so A here has x1 comma y1, and B here we have x2 comma y2. Those are the 2 coordinates. You can literally put any number in it. Okay, not any number, but number that is appropriate to the grid. So the gradient formula is this right here. So gradient, which is your m. So m is the short form for gradient, short abbreviation for gradient. Gradient equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. What that means is your coordinates, these 2 coordinates has to minus the next 2 coordinates. Okay, by doing it separately. So what did that mean? That means if you look at here, I'm actually creating a right angle triangle. Right angle triangle with a 90-degree here. Okay, so what I did was the x2 here represent the distance between here to here by minusing x2 minus with x1. Okay, so the best way to show you is this. Find the gradient of look at this over here. Find the gradient of P and Q if P, which has a coordinate of 1 and 3, and Q, which has a coordinate of 4 and minus 2. So which two do you decide to? Which of the coordinates you decide to make it the first coordinates, which has x1 and y1. Okay, remember x is always the first one, and y is always the second number in the coordinates. So in this case, I'm gonna make P the x1 and y1, and Q here I'm gonna make that an x2, and that's an y2. Remember, it doesn't matter which way you go, as long as you are consistent with it, the answer will be the same. So if we follow that formula here, what happened is we're gonna put this in here. So we are looking for gradient. So gradient equal to y2. So y2 here is that one. Okay, so which is -2 minus y1, which is that one, which is 3, divided by x2, which is 4, and x1 is 1. So -2 minus 3 again will give you -5, and 4 minus 1 is 3. Okay, so your gradient is -5/3, which is, if you put it in your calculator, it will be 1.4, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna use my calculator. 1.67, -1.67, sorry, 0.67. Alright, so that's the gradient. And from the gradient we can tell that it is a negative gradient. So that means the gradient is going downwards. Okay, gradient that going up is always positive, remember that, and gradient that going down is always negative. Okay, it doesn't matter which quadrants that it is in. So let's do one more question to solidify our understanding. So I'm gonna grab a question here. Let's look for, alright, found it. Question that we're gonna look at is this. Erase that. Find the gradient of the line segment connecting zero, 2 and 2 and -5. Okay, I want you to find the gradient of these two coordinates using that gradient of the line formulas. And then you should pause the video and then watch it back once you got the answer. Alright, so welcome back. If you have done it, gonna go through the answer. So in these two coordinates, I'm gonna make the second coordinates the x2 and y2. Okay, so that means that will be my x2, that will be my y2, and the other one obviously has to be x1 and y1. So the formula for gradient is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So all you need to do is put in the number from here. So y2 is -5. Remember, do not forget your sign. Okay, whether it is positive or negative, make sure you always correct on that, because the moment you put a wrong one, you're screwed. I mean, you get the wrong answer. So -5 is your y2 minus 2, which is your y1, over x2 is your 2, and x1 is 0. So negative 5 minus 2 is big, it is negative 7. Divided by 2 minus 0 is still 2. So your answer is negative 7 divided by 2, which is negative 3.5. Okay, so your answer is negative 3.5. That is your gradient. That is your M. Congratulations if you have got this. And please write the notes for these videos and show me in the next lesson for your rewards. And also please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you for listening and good job. Ciao.